And they kind of said the difference of this was once again rebounding and their three-point shooting, not communicating and leaving people open. Certainly it's kind of feels like that rebounding. We keep talking about it, but it kind of popped up again tonight.
Well,
fourth quarter, because that margin wasn't nearly that bad.
No, I mean it was a 2-point game, and I think we went down and turned the ball over. Or maybe that was we might have missed a jump shot in that situation. Anyway, then they went down, I believe, either hit a three or got an offensive rebound and hit a three, and then that stretched it back out. And so, and then we just made some bad decisions on some plays that really you can't do those things and end up giving free throws and technical fouls and balls back, and you can't do that. You know, we're working. You can see them working hard on their box outs, but we've got to improve at releasing and going to get the ball. We've got to come up with possession, and we've got to be strong with it and not think that no one else is going to try to get the ball. So just keep working at it. That's all we can do. And we've not shot the ball well enough to make up the difference. Like we got multiple shot clock violations on them. We were close on some 10-second calls. We might have got some that just missed, but they were close enough that they weren't obvious. We didn't get a lot of turnovers that turned up into points. In the first half, we got 3 or 4, and we got down there and we came up empty. We either didn't get a shot or we made a turnover, and we've got to, in order to make up for the difference in rebounding, we've got to take our steals and force turnovers and generate offense from them.
You know, it felt like, Coach, in that second quarter, you guys kind of ramped it up a little bit, weren't hitting a lot of shots. Do you feel like those type of moments have to kind of go your way to win games where you're not kind of winning the rebound board?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, until we get better at defensive rebounding specifically, and until we get better, or just we see better results. I don't question their effort. I don't question their desire. They're working at it. We're just not being very good at it yet. And so until that happens, we've got to make up that difference from our defense, and we've got to let our defense generate some easy points on offense. And we haven't shot the ball well from the three-point line really kind of since finals, I think. And so you know, we've got some good shooters out there. I think Zope was, I think, 3 for 6 tonight, but I don't think anybody else was close to that kind of percentage. And so we need, and they're good shooters. You know, Alexis Mead's a really good three-point shooter. Casey Hayes is a really good three-point. And and Josie has shot the ball really well from the three-point line for most of the season. But we're kind of in a little bit of a lull right there, and that helps us to get going a little bit. And so, yes, we need to turn our defense into easier offense, and we need to keep narrowing that rebounding differential margin.
I'd say with all this, you got touched on. I mean, you're right there in the fourth quarter. It felt like, though, every time you were close to kind of getting over that hump, you hit a three, they get off its rebound, extended possession. You just couldn't get that one last score.
That's right. When we just needed that stop, and then, you know, when it's a 2-point game and getting a bucket and a stop instead of missing a shot, giving up a bucket, and then extending it. And so, we've got to, and you know what we talk about, you're not going to beat great teams like Liberty or Kentucky, or you're not going to beat any great teams by playing good or playing average. If you want to beat great, you got to beat great. And we've not played great basketball against those two teams, and so we played okay. We played well in spurts, but we've not played consistently well throughout the game. And if you're going to beat a great team, you're going to win a championship, you've got to be great. And that means we got to shoot the ball better than 30%, and we got to rebound better than getting that rebound about 15, 16. And this is about the 4th game in a row that we've been double-digit, rebounded by double digits. And the one game that we won was against Nevada, and we shot the ball better, and we forced a lot of turnovers. And so we've got to narrow that rebounding margin, and then we've got to get back to knocking shots down.
You talk about struggling from three-point range since finals. Do you feel like with conference play starting up, you're kind of getting into more of a rhythm? Do you think that will kind of sort of calm their nerves down and get that number up a little bit?
You know, I see them they're in here before practice, they're in here after practice. You know, I know they're working, and I know because we have certain goals you have to reach to have certain freedoms on pulling the trigger. And so I know they're reaching those goals, you know, and I see that. And so I know that they're shooting the ball well in practice and in workouts. For whatever reason right now, we're not doing that in a game. And I don't know if it's some of it's the defense, the competition. We just got to get back in that rhythm. And you know, I told Zoe, I think she missed her first three. I think Sophie missed her first three threes. And I said, you just got to take your time. Don't be in a rush. Just be set and be ready. And she knocked the next three down, and those were big shots for us. And I think, you know, Alexis Mead, you know, she's a great three-point shooter. And last year, I think she was either our highest or second highest percentage three-point shooter, and Casey Hayes as well. And so, for whatever reason, right now, they're not knocking them down. They're not taking bad ones. They're just not falling in right now. So we've got to just keep looking for that and try to score in other ways, and primarily off of our defense and in transition to get some easy scores.
They're just such a challenge defensively.
Yeah.
Between, you know, what Smoother does inside. They've got that side, and then they never kick it out to the shooters 50% tonight. I mean, it felt like you just never could get things going defensively because they're such a challenge.
Well, and yes and no. I guess we got things going enough to get shot clock violations, probably more than we've gotten in any game this year. But I think the strength of Liberty, other than just, you know, Bella being a great interior player and then having Hodges shot the ball really well tonight, and you know, Emma having so much experience with her, they don't get rattled. And even if they get a shot clock violation, they'll come down. They're perfectly comfortable taking care of the ball, run the ball down to the last second of the shot clock. And what we've got to do is make sure that we just end that with a defensive rebound. And we can't continue to give these second. I think they had 20. Yeah, they had 22 points on second chance, and that's, you're just not going to win. I can't spot you 22 points and come back and beat you. And so the fact that it ended up, I don't think it was an 11-point ball game. I know that was the final margin, but you spot somebody 22 on second chances and you cut it to 11. There's some positives in there, but we've got to eliminate some of those negatives.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.